health insurance reform becomes law in the United States of America.
There must be equality for same-sex couples who marry.
The EPA's decision to issue its first ever curbs on power plant emissions.
After he makes his announcement, 800,000 young people in this country will no longer live in fear that they will be deported.
CAP has done a great job in lifting up some of the most important issues that we face in the country in a thoughtful, intelligent, reasoned way based on facts and not ideology.
I think the Center for American Progress is basically the intellectual engine of progressive politics.
It's not that old an institution, but it's hard to remember what we did without it.
It was a bleak time prior to CAP's founding.
The Bush administration was putting forward a lot of policies that we disagreed with.
There were no progressive leaders running any institution of government.
There was also a almost 20-year march in which conservatives had consciously built up an infrastructure of ideas.
We thought that a new institution, a new think tank could provide the ideas and the arguments that would change the direction of the country.
You got to remember that when CAP first started, the war in Iraq was really beginning to heat up.
We launched the center with a major conference on national security, a different way of thinking about the world.
We did not immediately call for immediate withdrawal. We decided, and this was the great work of Brian Katulis and Larry Korb, to figure out a phased strategic redeployment out of the Middle East and eventually a workable timetable for ending the war.
Iraq's future will be in the hands of its people. America's war in Iraq will be over.
We really started talking about healthcare within the institution after 2004.
Jean Lambrou and I wrote a piece in Health Affairs laying out a framework for moving forward with health reform. If you go back and look at that, it looks a lot like what eventually was enacted in the Affordable Care Act.
We held the first forum that all the Democratic candidates came to on healthcare. And it was really at that forum that Barack Obama resolved himself to put forward his own healthcare plan.
And we have now just enshrined, as soon as I sign this bill, the core principle that everybody should have some basic security when it comes to their health care.
For a long time, progressives have been playing essentially defense on the economic conversation. And I think under Neera's leadership and our great economic team, what we've been able to see is a shift in understanding that growth really is coming from the middle class out, not from the top down.
It is our generation's task, then, to reignite the true engine of America's economic growth, a rising, thriving middle class.
When CAP first got started, there were ideas around environment and ideas in the economy, but we really combined that discussion and discourse into significant proposals to reduce the country's carbon footprint and address climate change in a way that would produce jobs in the country.
President Obama brought his message of economic recovery to America's so-called Rust Belt.
The Federal Recovery Act passed in February is helping grow green jobs in our area.
It's really gratifying watching Think Progress from the first day when we were really excited about getting 1,000 people and then 5,000 people and watch it grow to where Think Progress is today, where we got 40 million unique visitors in 2012 and are looking to get even bigger.
The website Think Progress revealed last month that Dick Armey's Freedom Works was part of BP's 5-year plan.
An analysis from Think Progress finds that 153 House members have already gone on record saying that they will vote no.
Media Matters, Think Progress, all praised our coverage of the Times Square bomb.
And I think when people look back to what moved the Reagan era into the Obama era, CAP will be at the center of that discussion.
This organization, which has done as much as any organization in the history of the country, certainly during the time that I've been in Congress, to change the way we look at issues.
we had the ambition to be the best in our class, which is the most important, largest progressive policy and action tank in Washington, D.C., and I think we've achieved that.
I think this is a really exciting moment to envision where we could go in the next decade. And I think an organization like Center for American Progress is at the heart of doing the 20 and 30-year thinking ahead of the curve on that sort of thing.
We've always believed ideas matter, and at the heart of what we do is aggressively communicate those ideas, but those ideas themselves are the most important.